Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. Silly P. We're looking at mods for Monday the 5th of December. We also have a load of updates, starting with the John Deere STS70 series by SzwagierPrezes, the John Deere S690i 9880i STSEU by SzwagierPrezes. We have got the New Holland Forage Cruiser by Whiskey Sierra Modding, the Fendt 900 S4 by LS Agra Ole, the Case Puma CVX by STV Modding, the John Deere 4755 by Dominic. I use that a lot, and that's had quite a few updates, changes to that. The Phoenix IT Runner Edition by ER Shabba VSR Modding Sir, the Vehicle Auto Load Package by ER Shabba VSR Modding Sir. The Hay Wagon with Seats by Dominic, Traffic Safety Trailer by nrxEcki, the Goldhofer STZVP3 by HR Forst und Fahrzeugbau, the Pertinger Nova Alpine Pack by Agro Design Austria, the Auto Load Trailer by ER Shabba, the Diesel Jerry Can by Fred Fracasse, the Buildings of Norway by Ola Haldor, the Buildings of Garages by Matej Mods, and the Wash Station by Missy B have all had updates. So, in front of me we have got the Oratory. This is 8.81 megabytes download, 4 slots on console, 500 to buy. It's by ikas. You'll find it under build mode and decoration. And it does also say if you're on PC, you can go into Giants Editor and you can add in a statue or something of your choice if you wish. On console, obviously we can't, but decorative object, the Oratory by ikas. Moving on from that, we have got the Old Post German House by WylewiskoTv and Kisiel. It's 9.85 megabytes download, 10 slots on console, 20,000 to buy. Under build mode and farmhouses is where you'll find it. Really nice detailing on this. When you get up close to it, the brickwork and stuff on it. It's great. You can't go inside the building. The sleep trigger is on the outside. There's no wardrobe trigger with this one. We come around the back. We've got some nice detailing around the back as well. Lovely, the Old Post German House by WylewiskoTv and Kisiel. Moving on from that, we have got the Multi-Use Farm Shed by BK Mods. It was BK Mods, wasn't it? Yeah. This is 0.58 megabytes download, 12 slots on console, and 10,000 to buy. You'll find it under build mode and sheds. Another nice one with nice detailing, the cracked and chipped plaster work around the outside. This has automatic lighting. Nice bit of protection there for people who, like me, tend to crunch into things quite a little bit. Use it for whatever you wish. I always list things you can put in there, but it's a shelter. You can put whatever you want in there. That's the Multi-Use Farm Shed by BK Mods. Next, we move on to, well, all of these. This is the Salvage Halls Package by Razak, 16.59 megabytes download. These are a combination of 10 slots, 9 slots, and 8 slots for various different ones. Now, the first few, I would say they're the same building. They're the same size building, but with different... we'll have a look in the build mode. But this one's got 4 doors. So it's got a door either end, 2 doors at the front. This one's got fans in the back. They do all have light switches, as you can see here. I don't think the fans move. I haven't seen them move, but this one has fans. There's one without fans, which is exactly the same as this one. The next one along doesn't have the end doors, but it does have 2 doors here. Again, light switches on the inside. This one, what was the difference with this one? Oh yeah, this one had doors at either end, but not on the other side. So yeah, various different options on these. I think that's the first 4. Then we got a shorter one, stubbier. One with a side door here, and then 2 open shelters. Again, all with lighting. Nice sizes. There we go, light switches just there. And then we've got 2 open shelters, the longer one there, and a shorter one just on the end. So, under build mode, under sheds. So I started in the order they are here. Obviously, that one there is the cheaper of the long ones, and then you've got these ones here. So they actually start at this end if you're going to go cheapest to most expensive, but I'm going to go from the end we looked at them. So 150 grand. Like I said, the slot counts are 10s, 9s and 8s, so they're all about the same, but I think they all come down to 1. So the first one we looked at was this one here. That's the 150 grand one. That's with fans. I didn't put the one that doesn't have fans. but that's the one next to it. That's the same one, just without fans. And this one here, for 130 grand, is a Salvage Hall 3. That one there is Salvage Hall 4. That one there, Salvage Hall 5. That one, Shelter 1. And that one, Shelter 2. So, ranging from, 135 grand down to 50 grand, depending on which particular one you want. The Salvage Halls package by Razak. Moving on, we've got these. Holiday Accommodation by nrxEcki, 15.5 megabytes download. 33 slots for each one. This one has got a sleep trigger. The other one hasn't. This one you'll find under build mode and farmhouses. This one you'll find under build mode and tools. So it's kind of like when you go to, I don't know if you go to like conferences and things like that. I know when we used to go and stuff with the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, that kind of stuff. You'd have these buildings, kind of like a blockhouse, bunkhouse, but this has got everything in it. So we go into the front door here, and we turn on the lights like so. We've got a conference suite with whiteboard, projector, that kind of stuff here, and you can play chess if you want. Then we come around the side here. We've got the washrooms, shower rooms, doors open, the toilets in there. Then we come through, and then we've got the individual rooms for sleeping. This first room is where you find the sleep trigger and the wardrobe trigger on the one for sleeping. Each room with a different colour, as you can see. Kitchen area, eating area, also with the TV in here. The only difference between this one and the one next to it is that one doesn't have the sleep triggers in. Everything else is exactly the same, but it just doesn't have the sleep triggers. So, like I said, build mode and along to farmhouses. 112 grand for this one. Now, this also has a colour option. So when I go to place it, if you look top left, it says change colour, and if you can see that. If I go, zoom in a little bit. If I go right on my D-pad, I can change the colour of the brickwork on the side before I place it. So you can change the colour, like so, if you want to change the colour on it. So that's the holiday accommodation. I think it's 112 grand for that one as well, sleep trigger or not. The holiday accommodation by nrxEcki. Moving on, we have got the garden decoration package. This is by Fudzo, 11.16 megabytes download. We have got 14 slots for the one with the sleep trigger, which you'll find under build mode and I think it was farmhouses. And then under decoration, this one's 18 slots. So you get one with a hammock. You can sleep in your hammock under your little gazebo, especially in climates where the weather is rather warm, possibly humid, or if you just fancy a nap out in your outhouse, you absolutely can. So build mode, farmhouses. What's farmhouse? There it is. I was going to say it was farmhouse. Only £1,000, which is pretty cool. And then if we come up from there, we go to decoration, go to others. There we go. 500 for the decorative one, 14 slots and 18 slots respectively. That's by Fudzo. We've got the large warehouse. This is by Didec96, 14.75 megabytes download. 10 slots on console, 180,000 to buy under build mode and sheds. Now this is one of those ones that will only place at 90-degree angles. If we go into build mode, sheds, and scroll across till we get to it, just there. If I tried to place one, yes, obviously I've got a player in the way. When I try and move direction, it will only go at 90-degree angles. Just to be aware of that, if you want to place one, it's like I said, it's 108,000. We do have these tarpaulin sheets on the side. I can uninstall, like so. I come around to the end here. We can do that. Where was the light switch? There we go. There is a light switch. Lights on. And if we come over to this little bit here, we can, if we want this one opened as well, uninstall the plank wall. So we've got access in from this side as well. Then you can put it back, and then you can go around to the outside. You can put the tarpaulin back up if you want to. Another really large building. For 108 grand's not too bad at all. You're going to need a fairly large flat area to place it. Large warehouse by Didec96. Next, we've got a pallet. right here. This is 0.16 megabytes download, 2 slots on console for the first one, 350 litre capacity, takes all sorts of stuff. This is by, I would say, KxuyLS, I think. They are liftable. They won't be liftable once they've got things in them. You'll find them under objects, under pallets, the very end one, 170 to buy, like I say, 350 litres, takes all that stuff at the bottom there. So you can fill them up, store stuff, move things around if you haven't got a trailer, or you might find use from it. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with it. That's the Pallet by KxuyLS. Moving on, we've got these. This is the Metaltech DB pack by Melody98. 31.48 megabytes download. These are 5 slots, 6 slots, and 7 slots. There are 6 different trailers in this pack. The first few options are pretty much the same on all of them, apart from the first few. I want to say the DB6 through to 12, I think it was. Let me just double check that. I think it's DB6 through to 12. Yeah, the DB6, 8, 10 and 12 have 2 options like this for bale trailer. So you can have bale trailer left or right, so whichever side is open for it. And then up from the DB14, I think up, you don't, you just have size options. But colour options, sticker options, all those kind of things the same. So I've only got sort of 2 representative examples of them. Really nicely made, nicely detailed. So I'm not going to go through all of them. Under build mode and trailers, so you've got DB6, DB8, DB10, DB12, 14, 14 premium, DB20 and the DB20 premium. They take pretty much everything. The difference obviously is going to be from the DB6 up is going to be the capacity. So what I'll do is I'll show you this one. We'll talk about capacity. Capacity 6,000 litres, loading left, loading right, 6,000 litres. We'll go through all the options on one of the other ones. The DB8, 8,000 litres, loading left, loading right. The DB10, 10,000 litres, left and right for bale. The 12, you've guessed it, 12,000 litres, left, right. Then we move on to the 14, and now we don't have the option for the bale trailer. The 14 is a 14,000 litre. So we've got the option of Lizard, Continental, Trelleborg, Big AT, Vredestein, back to Lizard. We've got Design Colour Design 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to 1 again. Then we've got Design 1 and 2 for our decals option. Cover yes or no, and then license plate option. That's the same on all of them. So the DB14 Premium is a 19,300 litre. All the other options are the same. The DB20, 20,000 litres. Other options are all the same. And then the DB20 Premium is a 26,000 litre. Again, options all the same. All of them have a rear trailer hitch, so you can hook them all together if you wish. They all have a swivel front axle. Hop in, start it up. So we're on the front one. Open cover. We've got the option of tip side left or right, grain door or back. I'll go tip side left. Nice smooth unload, nice sound effects. All works really well. And if you've gone for one with the bale trailer options, we can fasten or unfasten the tension belts on there. And like I said, they all will hook together, so you can daisy chain them and run a few together if you want. Very nice indeed. The Metaltech DB pack by Melody98. Next we move on to this. This is the HolRun. This is by Vanquish081. It's 4.61 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. This does, however, require the Holmer pack by Giant Software, which has a few different Holmer variants. The Terra variant, I've gone for the 650 with the larger horsepower. So this basically is a hook lift back that goes onto the back of the Holmer Terra variant. Now the Terra variant has a load of different backs that come with it in its pack, but this means once you've got the IT runner on it, you can then use any of the IT runner equipment on it as well, so it kind of just makes it a little bit more versatile, really. You'll find this, was this one on the trailers? I think it was. There you go, 2,800, that's all. Admittedly, you've got to have the Terra variant first. And we've got the option to change the main colour to anything on that palette, if you should choose to do so. I'm not reviewing the Terra variant. all the IT runner backs, they're all various different mods and stuff in their own right. This is what we're going to be looking at. So if I start this up, I always remember, I'm sure it was at FS17, or was it 15 even? The Terra variant was relatively cheap, but had really high horsepower. It was always a really good alternative to a tractor. I mean, it's not mega expensive now. They're very cool bits of equipment. Anyway, so with the HolRun on the back, we can extend or retract the arm. It works like any other IT run. The only thing I will say, I haven't had it topple over yet, but sitting as high as it does already, it does make it very, very tall. No, not that one. Switch to that. There we go. Now, bearing in mind that's full with 32,000 litres. Leans back a little bit, but doesn't tip the whole thing up. And again, with the IT runner stuff, one of the tests was always just driving a little bit, braking, turning sharply. They used to move around a lot, but they don't anymore. It works really well. So like I say, you can take your whole Terra variant and make it into an IT runner receiver. I'll just put the other back there just to show that, you know, it does IT runner stuff. But loading and unloading was actually pretty good. They also used, you know, every now and again you get them catch on the ground. Often you'd get them flicking your vehicle up into the atmosphere, but seems to work pretty well. Oh no, wrong one. Hang on, that one first. There we go. Don't know if I want to disconnect that. That's the only thing I found. That could be the map, but it did that when I tried to disconnect it last time. Just be aware of that. It could be the surface, I'm not too sure. Just be aware. That's the HolRun by Vanquish081. Next, we've got this. This is the Schwarzmueller dumper by Smety. This is 12.83 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. A few different options on this. It's a 28,000 litre capacity, I think. I did write it down. I'm sure it's 28,000 litres. Let's jump in a second. Yes, it is. A few different options on this. Cover open and closed. We don't have a grain door or anything like this. This is just a dump trailer, but it's a very nice looking bit of kit. I did find with this lorry, so it's going to depend on what lorry you have. It was only once it was fully laden that it kind of, I say worked properly. That's not right. It sat on the front axle here and wasn't really touching the ground, particularly with the two rear ones. So when I was reversing, this thing swung side to side so easily, which I suppose if you're reversing in a yard when it's empty, it does make manoeuvring much easier. There was only once it was fully loaded that it put all the weight down on all three axles, which I guess, yeah, is probably how it would be in the real one. So unload. Nice smooth animation, nice sound effects, does the job. You'll find it under trailers. There you go, the steel segment tipper, 60 grand. Slot count will come down from, what did I say it was? 7 down to 1. Yeah, 28,000 litres, takes all of those crop types and things. So we've got the option of Continental, Trelleborg, Vredestein, BKT. Continental is the only one with an option, standard or standard 2, wide tyres, and back again. We've got logo 1, 2, 3, 4, back to 1. Obviously, if you change the main colour and you can go for the darker one, it will make it stand out more. Side guards, yes or no. Tools, that's around this side. Tools, yes or no. Puts a broom and a spade. We always call them spades and shovels. Spade, I was always told, was square-ended, and the shovel was sort of round with a sort of, what's the point on it? Could be wrong. Then we've got water tank. Yes or no. Toolbox, variant 1, 2 or 3, or off. Mud flap on the back. Go it like that with the bar or the Schwarzmueller mud flap, yes or no. Cover, yes or no. Chassis colour, changes the chassis. Main colour, like I say, let's go for white so it stands out. So if you've gone for that logo, obviously it's going to stand out more on a lighter colour. Cover colour, if you've gone for cover, rim colour, anything on that palette, then the license plate option 2. Very nice indeed. The Schwarzmueller dumper by Smety. Moving on. We've got this. This is the UNIA PZ1 by SzwagierPrezes. 3.06 megabytes download, 2 slots on console, 1 meter wide. You'll find this under plows. We have a colour option on this, 525 horsepower required, runs at 7 miles an hour. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette. Hop in, start it up. We do have the ability to create fields if we're not on a field that's already in place. This is a small farm piece of equipment. Nice animation on that, turning the soil. I like that a lot. And then if you want to create your own fields, you're allowed to create fields. You can extend a field or create your own, as most ploughs work. That will bring up large stones. I haven't got the stones working on this field because of the way I placed them, but it will bring up large stones. The UNIA PZ1 by SzwagierPrezes. Next, we've got this. This is the RAUCH ZSA 580 by KoPi. This will do lime or solid fertiliser. A bit of an angle there. It is 3.94 megabytes download, 2 slots on console, and it will spread out to 10 meters. But you'll find it under fertiliser spreaders. 4,200 to buy, 800 litre capacity. We can change the main colour to anything on that selection of reds. 11 miles an hour it will run. I put lime in it because I was curious as to whether or not the lime would spread at the same width as fertiliser, and that's spreading out easily to 10 metres. You'll get through it pretty quickly because it's not a particularly large one, but it's designed more for small field work and stuff like that. Nicely made, nicely detailed. The RAUCH ZSA 580 by KoPi. Actually, we'll do that one next. Seems to be right next to it. Next, this is really nice. I like this. We've got the Sulky Progress P100. This is by Univers Simu Modding. It's 8.46 megabytes download, 9 slots on console, 3 meters wide, and it's a direct drill. Very nicely made. We haven't had a lot of Sulky stuff actually. You'll find it under Cedars. Not too expensive, 48,000. 2,000 litre capacity tank, and that's a split between seed and fertiliser. 120 horsepower required to pull it. It's a regular seeder. We can change the main colour, which is the bottom section, from that sort of greyish black to the sulky blue. Those are your options. Start it up. We can open cover. As you can see, there's our split. 800 litres of fertiliser, 1,200 litres of seed. Obviously we can change our crop type which we want to plant. We do have ridge markers, left, right or off. Start it up, drop it down. There we go. The jerkiness of the pull on that is down to the tractor. I found that a lot with this one for some reason. Various different mods I've tested, but yeah. Nice bit of kit that. 3 metre direct drill, the Sulky Progress P100 by Univers Simu Modding. Next, we have this, the Claas Rollant 66 by EAD123, 10.12 megabytes download, 9 slots on console, 17,000 to buy. This doesn't have an option to change bale size. Depending on what you put through it, you'll get different capacities. I think it's a 125 centimetre bale, so you'll get different capacities depending on whether you do hay, straw or grass. I've already done 2 of the other, one of each of the others, because I know I did last time and people just had to watch me rolling bales up, but It's nice and cheap, 17 grand for a round baler, which is pretty cool. You'll find it under balers. 60 horsepower required. Slot count comes down to 1. We can change the rim colour to white, metallic grey, or the red it comes with. Those are your options. Sort of 2 metre wide collector pickup. Turn it on, lower the pickup. You can put automatic drop on if you want to. I left it off just because I wanted it to stop when I got a full back. I mean, I'd have to unload anyway, but we will get to a full bale here momentarily. And if I've timed it right, I'm going to be just off there. So as you can see, 4,500 litre. 4,500 litre on hay. Unload. On grass, 3,500 litres, and on straw, 5,000 litres. I do like fairly inexpensive balers, but at the end of the day, you know, you pick whatever one you want. That's the whole purpose of having all these options, isn't it? The Claas Rollant 66 by ED123. Moving on from there. We've got these, the Fortschritt HLS 130.11 Semitrailer. 18.08 megabytes download. This by Grabfeldschmiede and Ingo 376. We've got 6 slots for the trailer. We have got 4 slots for the slurry tanker. The slurry tanker is the HLS 127. That will spread out to 15 metres, 9,000 litre capacity, I think. And then we've got a dolly. The dolly is 3 slots. So you don't have to have it. Now this is designed to run with the Lizard W50, also by, I think it's also by Grabfeldschmiede and Ingo 376. This is not the mod. The mod is the trailer, the trailed sections. But I bought these out to put with it because that's what they're designed to work with. You know, they should still hook up to any other lorry, but I have bought these out just to make absolutely certain. The trailer itself has a couple of options. 13,500. Which is pretty cool. Slot count comes down to 1, takes pretty much everything. We can have capacity 15,000 litres, or we can go for the capacity 29,000 litres. The 29,000 litre one, as far as I'm aware, only does your forage crops. I'm sure it does. 2-way tipper, heavy-duty chopper body, can transport silage. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that will only do, you know, your grass, hay, straw. They often do wood chips, don't they, and you know, that kind of stuff, silage too. So we've got, as far as wheel setup, the HD 82520s or the ND 1670R20s, which match up with the lorry. Hose connections original or at the front, so depending on where you want to have those working. We've got main colour, does the chassis, design colour, does the body, rim colour, does the rim colour, and a license plate option on there too. Then if we come out of there and we go to our slurry tanks, HLS 127, 8 grand to buy. Like I said, 9,000 litre capacity, 50 metre spread width, slot count comes down to 1. Same thing with the tyres, we've got the 2 tyre options depending on what you're putting with. Hose connections, original front, main colour, does the chassis, and then rim colour, does the rims. We can't change the tank colour on this one, that stays the same, and a license plate option on there too. And then we come out of there and we go down to our dollies. 3,200 for the Fortschritt dolly. Same thing, tyre options, main colour and rim colour option. Like that. 15,000 litre capacity. As you can see, it takes grapes as well. Olives, grapes, takes all sorts of stuff, so it's pretty cool. We've got tip side left or right. I've got it on left. Nice animation, like the mechanics of that, how that all moves and works. Very cool. And then this one, I've brought it out with the dolly, but also attached to the back of the lorry, just so we can see the lorry, the dolly, and the back. What I will do is detach that, take the dolly out of the way, Just so you can see it work with the dolly. It's the sort of thing you could probably bring it out to the field with the lorry, and if you didn't want to take the lorry on the field to do the slurry spreading, you could then attach the dolly and have a tractor do it. However you wanted to go about it, it's entirely up to you. We can activate double application rate if we wanted to. If you activate double application rate, it will do 2 loads of fertilising in one go, but it does slow it down and it will use a lot more in one pass. There you go. That's very cool. The Fortschritt HLS 130.11 Semitrailer by Grabfeldschmiede and Ingo 376. Next, we've got these, the Fiat Store Pack. This by WylewiskoTv, 7.74 megabytes download, 8 slots each. We've got a 2-wheel drive version and a 4-wheel drive version. The options are pretty much the same, I think, on both. There's a really nice option to have the reverse rim. If you look at that one there, it's dished that way, and then you can unbolt it and you turn the dish the other way, which then extends it out. It's a little bit different to the PAV rims. The PAV rims actually spin, but these ones they just bolt on the other way around, which is nice. I like that. I think it's 40 and 50 horsepower. These aren't beasts, but they'll do the job. They'll do yard work, and if you're doing small farm work, they'll work absolutely perfectly. So there you go, 6,500. That's all for the 2-wheel drive. We've got engine set up, 40 horsepower, 50 horsepower, changes the front end there. Or we can have the front self-made, also 50 horsepower. We then got wheel setup standard, wide tyre, wheel turn. So that's what I mean. You've got the dish that way or the dish that way, just widens it out. Then we've got design standard, cab 1, cab 2, cab 3, 4 with the cover and back. Then we've got design standard, front weight, design colour, any one of those on that pallet, like that. Rim colour, beige or white. And then license plate option on there too. Then if we go across to the 404-504, 40 horsepower, 50 horsepower, and then we've got the front self-made, like I say, pretty much the same. Just it's a 4-wheel drive version. Wheel setup, wide, wheel turned. Interestingly, the wide on this one is actually lower, drops the whole thing back a little bit. The other one didn't do that. Design the same, standard 1, 2, 3, 4, back, front weight or not, design colour the same, and rim colour, and then license plate. Let's hop in on lights, first person. What I did like, there's a nice bit of flex on that front axle when you go over bumps as well. I'm just not going to do it now, is it? I'm not going to find a bump, am I? I thought I just drove over one, didn't I? There's one over here somewhere. I like the tyre deformation on the front as well. Oh, on the front, on the back. Yeah, there's a nice bit of flex on there. They're just nice little tractors, you know? And the thing is, for some people, it might be a particular tractor like you've grown. I know a lot of people go, oh, what's the point? The low horsepower, you know, but it might be that it's something you grew up with, that your parents had one or your grandparents had one, and, you know, you drove it as a kid and that kind of thing. And people love that when mods like that come out, especially the modder, whoever's made it. Often modders make things because it's a passion project. It's something they know, something they love, or something they've wanted to do for a particularly long time. There's no doors or windows that open on these. Interior with the cab on, visibility is very good. You can see down through the back to the rear hitch as well for hooking up if you're going for a more immersive feel. This one does have a beacon. Lovely. The Fiat Store Pack by WylewiskoTv. Moving on. Yeah, we'll do these next. So I love these. I'm going to get one of these definitely for my silver run. For taking all my offcuts. I think it's brilliant. We have got the Lizard Miner 6x4 by SleutjesModding, 8.01 megabytes download. Now it's saying one slot, because I didn't write it down when I first got them, and I went back in because normally you can check, and it said 1 for each one. I'm not sure if that's correct. It may well be. I thought that looked like one of those little airport sort of transport vehicles. So you can have a flatbed, you can have it with a back on it, which does also have straps as well, which is pretty cool. And you can have the log version. There's various different cab options on this as well. It's just, I don't know what I like about it. It just makes me smile. It's very cool. You'll find this under miscellaneous. 21,500, that's all. 83 horsepower. It's not a rocket ship. It will go at 60 miles an hour though. So we've got capacity 1,000 litre if you go for the back on it. The loading wood or the bale trailer. No price change in that. And obviously the bale trailer, even that one, the 1,000 litre, has straps, so you can still put pallets and bags and all sorts of stuff in it, whatever you want to put in it. We've then got on the cabin, we've got window, original with no cab on it at all. Cabin protection, just a roll bar, protective awning, grill. I guess if you're going to do forestry or something like that, back to window. We've got details at the front. We can have a little grill, yes or no. Beacon, yes or no. Now that will depend what you've got. If you've got the various different versions, it'll put the beacon there. If you've got the version like that, it puts up on the top. So it'll depend where it puts the beacon. Then we've got the main colour. Actually, what we'll do is switch to. Oh, actually, it doesn't really matter. It will do it anyway. Main colour. Anything on that palette. It's a whole load of greens to start off with, but we'll pick something that stands out. There we go. That's your main colour. Design colour. Does the framework. There are some metallics in there as well. Then design color 2, I think does the bits like that. There we go. Rim color option, we have got a chrome. If you want to go for chrome, license plate 2. If I go back up to the top, that way. If we change that, you'll see what changes with those colors, depending on what you've chosen. Very cool. Start it up. So as I say, this one's got straps. I think we unload here. Is that one tipped? No, that one didn't tip, did it? So that's your flatbed. A little bit of wheel spin. I'd found it's front heavy, but that's because once you get weight on the back of it, it works fine. It does have a rear trailer hitch, and the rear trailer hitch does work. That's why I bought this out, just to show you. It works with pin hitches, not ball hitches, but it will work and it will tow stuff. And that once you've got a bit of weight over those back axles, it plants it really nicely. Beacon, horn, lights. It's just very cool. This one we can under. Where are we? Unload here. Like so, I thought we had, or maybe it was only once it's empty. They do get up to a fair old pace. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, they're pretty cool. Let me just empty that out, because I'm pretty sure we do have an option. Right, so we do have straps that go across the top. Once it's empty, if you haven't got anything in it, we do have the option, there we go, to just open and close the back. So on PlayStation control, L1 and right stick up and down. So you can use that just like the flatbed, but it's got sides really. You can put your pallets and crates and stuff like that on there, and you can open and close the back to do that. Which I like the versatility of that. And then when you get to where you're going with your pallets and stuff on there, you can then unload it and tip the whole lot out if you want. If you can't bother to unload it properly, you can do it like that, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing I will say about the log trailer. The logs on this, I did cut some logs and try a couple of different things. These ones are 2.1 metres, so 2 metre really. You might get over 2.5 if you've got to cut it or do 2.5s. I originally cut 4s, and they overhung by quite a way. The front wheels were barely touching the ground. I couldn't steer it at all. So you have to bring the logs in a little bit. You might get away with 3s possibly, but you want to try and keep it all the weight more towards the front if you can. I don't think this one... Does this one tip? No. I was hoping that one would tip. That'd make life a little bit easier. But anyway, yeah, you can have it as the log back. So like I say, for what I'm doing on Silver Run, for doing all my offcuts and stuff, it's perfect. I can just throw them all in the back there while I'm doing them, and then just take them off to where I need them to take them to. That's really cool. I like that a lot. So there we go. That's the Lizard Minor 6x4 by SleutjesModding. Nice. Moving on. We have these, and I'm going to do a double whammy on this. We've got the John Deere S700 series combines by Custom Modding, 82.19 megabytes download. Each harvester is 34 slots, and they do range in size. I've gone from that end, smallest to largest. Also came out the John Deere FD700 series headers, also by Custom Modding, 48.49 megabytes download. Starting at the smaller end, that end, 11 slots, 12 slots, 15 slots and 17 slots depending on which size you go for. I've gone for a combination of various different options. I will run through the options. The harvesters, once I've done the options on one of them, the options on all of them are pretty much the same apart from the capacities. As we go up through the sizes of harvesters, there are going to be some other changes. If you're a John Deere aficionado and you're aware in all the different years and the different sizes, all the various different changes, Custom Modding do brilliant work, and these are so well detailed. I loved the option of having the different flags on, the patriotic thing on there. I think that's really cool. Same with the harvesters. We've got various different options with the reels. We've got different options with cross augers. We've got options with the Prairie Wind system. We can have a single blower system, double blower system. They're really, really nice mods, all of them. So what we'll do, we'll start with the harvesters. Like I say, I'm not trying to dumb down what they've done. There are going to be differences. We've got the S760, 770, 780 and 790. They do vary in price. The prices are realistic is what it says. So it depends what category you want to go in for. So if we start with the S760, 333 horsepower. So we start on this Lizard set of tyres, which is a very tight tread. I'm not going to read them all out, but we go through those. Then we go to Michelin. Through those. The John Deere, we start with the track. I think it just changes the back tyres, I think, on that. Yep. Then we go to Lizard. We've got the Powerflex track. High idler. Really nice. Then the next set of Lizards, we've got this. Oh, they do look good. They really do. Have I missed one here? Hang on a minute. I thought there was... Do we have a low track option on one of these? Oh no, it must have been on one of the higher up. Oh, so there are going to be some differences. Axle length is the same on all of them. So we've got standard, 128 inch, 132, 136, 140, 144, 148, 152 inch. So if you're on particularly steep terrain, you want to keep that stable on the back end, you can get your axle width out. We've got spreaders on the back. We've got a tailboard. We've got a twin disc, or we've got a power cast. Exhaust standard or Brazilian. Then you've got the model year. On all of them are 2017 to 2021. And then we got the 2022 version. Changes the lights and beacon setup on there. And then we've got numbers standard 1 through 9. Oversized sign on the back, yes or no. That's the same on all of them. Then we've got the Patriot plot. So you can have the the American flag first, the Canadian flag, the Brazilian flag, or the Australian flag on there. I love the fact the Australian flag splashes up onto the pipe as well, which is brilliant. The Brazilian one goes up on top there. It's really cool. Then we've got window tint standard, 25%, 50%, 75% back to standard. Attachers, we've got standard, or we've got a rear attacher. So the standard one is right underneath, or we have the rear attacher, which brings it out a bit further and makes it a little bit easier. So this one, we've got the grain tank static small, 10,600 litre, like that, 10,600 litre, 10,600, Then we've got foldable, 10,600. Then we've got this one at 16,210, back to 10.6. Then we've got the pipe. I think this is the same in all of them as well. 22-foot static pipe 1. 22 static pipe 2 changes the nozzle on the end. I think it's a larger diameter, I think, on the nozzle. I think it might adjust as well. We've then got 26-foot with pipe 2 on the end, 28-foot with pipe 2 on the end, then license plate option on there as well. Move to the 770. I've got to find this now because I'm sure one of these had the different track section. I'm sure it was the John Deere, but it might have been on the larger one. Yeah, I think it might be the large one. All the other options are exactly the same until we get to our tank size. So this one starts at 10.6. I think it's the same actually, 10.6. Foldable, then 16.210, then a 19.733, which the other one didn't have. So we can go up to a 19.733, back to a 10.6, and then the same with the pipes and the same with license plate. If we go to the S780, I'm going to find that track. I'm going to find it. It's not under that one. It's here somewhere. I know it is. I'm not going mad. There it is. So on the S780, we've got that track type as well, the S-Tech. So we've got the PowerFlex track, we've got the high idler, and then we've got the S-Tech, which I personally like. Axle length, spreader boards, exhaust, all the same, 2017, 2021, and all the 2022 version. Numbers, oversized signs, all of that. The same. And like I say, I'm not glossing over this like it's nothing. It's just we've got a lot to get through as well. But grain tank on this one starts at 14,100, 17,623, 16,210, 19,733, back to 14.1. Same with the pipe and same with the license plate. Then we move up to the big boy, the S790. I think this is the same if we go to, hang on, back the one to, sure we've got the same track options on this one. There we go, on that. But obviously this one here, was this one? We do have some different options, obviously, on the tyres. Yeah, we have the singles as well. There's a whole load to choose from. There's so many. Go through them, but you're going to find something you absolutely love. I mean, look at them. Oh, very cool. So all the other options are the same, apart from grain tank size. So we start off at 14,100. We go to 17,623. 14.1 again, foldable, 16,210, 19,733, or 24,667 for the big DW grain tank. So on the larger one, the S790's got the, as you would imagine, the larger size. So if we come out of there and we go to our headers, header sizes are different, header options are exactly the same. So we start with the hang on, it goes from this end. That's what I wrote on my notes, right to left. So the 730 FD, 73,500. 735 FD, that one is 9.1 meters, 10.7 meters, 79,500. This 740 FD, 91,500, that's 12.5 meters. And then the 745 FD, 101 grand, 13.7 meters. Now on the smaller ones, we've got crop dividers, yes or no. Reel over, yes or no. So it changes the way the reels, the actual tines on the reels are attached. Query wind system, yes or no. Single flow only, you get on these as an option. Then we've got numbers, I think are on the back. Yep, right underneath there. So you can match them up to your harvesters. We go to the next one up. I'm pretty sure it's same crop dividers, yes or no. Reel over, yes or no. Query wind system, single flow, and numbers. Then the next one up, we have got extra options on the larger two. So crop dividers, yes or no. Reel over, yes or no. Then we've got cross augers. So as well as the draper belts on there, you've got cross augers to help things along the way too. Carrera wind system, we can have a single flow or a double flow. So we've either got the fan blowing one side or double if you want. Then numbers again, and the same with the larger one, all the same options, yes or no. Reel over, cross auger, yes or no. Carrera wind system, single or double. And numbers 1 through 9 as well. I know that's kind of oversimplified things. It wasn't my intention to oversimplify things. So what we'll do, we could get into each one of them and drive each one of them. They all look phenomenal. I am going to go to this one, the end. Simply because it's the larger of them all. Got the double wind system with the query thing on the header as well. And I went for that track system, which I love. Fold to harvesters, get them out of the way of the tracks so we can see. Their mods are just brilliant. Really, really are. So as far as the header goes, once attached, we have to unfold the headers. So when you unfold the header, it puts those down and puts the bottom section out. So it has to be unfolded first. Now the query wind system in reality doesn't make any difference in game. In reality. In game it doesn't. In the real world it does. It keeps stuff on the head and stops it going out all over the place. Let's unfold the harvester. Puts the back section down as well. Oh, this sounds so good. Pipe in and out. I don't think we can adjust the nozzle. No, but what we do have, under R1 and right stick up and down, we can open all the panels up, including put the ladder down the back for doing engine maintenance. It's the detail under all of this as well. I mean, so R1 right stick up and down, fold that back up again. Enable or disable straw swath. I don't think anything changes that we can see. Put the pipe back in. Horn, lighting. 2022 has a beacon. Where is the beacon on it? It has got them. Just can't see where they are. It's flashing them somewhere. Oh yeah, they're tiny little ones, look. Above the mirror stalks. That's pretty cool. Then we have under L1 and right stick side to side, we've got the door. And what's really cool as well is this side. L1 and right stick up and down. Look at that. How cool is that? Interior, as you would imagine, awesome. I'm trying to think I haven't missed anything, have I? Fold harvester, disable straw swath, tone harvester, pipe out. No, I think that's all the options. They sound brilliant as well. I went for different widths on the axles. I just wanted to show it off really, because it's cool. Listen to that. Blower system on the wind system, the query. Hear those fans blowing. Cross auger going. The way that's riding the ground as well, following it. Very cool. I think we can also, yeah, we can adjust the reel in and out as well. The whole lot with the wind system, so the flex pipe on that moves when we move the wind system. We can't do the wind system up and down. We can move it in and out. Hang on, maybe we can. Oh yeah. I'm just using the same stick. You can do it up, down, in and out. That's cool. They're really, really, really nice mods. Really nice mods. So there we go. That's the John Deere S700 series combines and the John Deere FD700 series headers by Custom Modding. Lovely. Moving on. I'm going to have to be really quick because I'm going to run out of time for doing this. This is the Challenger MT800E by Power Alston, Austin, and 820 Power LS. It's 27.52 megabytes download, 14 slots on console. This is a 2013 version. Very nice indeed. You'll find it under large tractors, There aren't many options on this or the next one, so we should be able to get through them pretty quick. I've got to edit this down and get it done. Yeah, we've got the MT845E at 492 horsepower, the 865E at 592 horsepower, or the 875E at 646 horsepower, and a license plate option on there too. Those are the options on it. Jump in, start her up. We've got no doors or windows that open. Horn, beacons, lights. Very nice mod. Nice bit of lean on that. Cab suspension. What cab suspension? Or is it the whole thing that's moving? Looks like the whole thing that's moving. Interior. Up to 26 miles an hour. That's fairly straightforward. Lovely. The Challenger MT800E 2013 by Power Austin and 820 Power LS. Next, we've got this, the Rostselmash F2650 by Bartson V3, 26.33 megabytes download, 14 slots on console. This is a forage harvester. This was always one of the cheaper ones you could get. I tended to use it quite a lot because price-wise it's pretty good. 305 grand, not bad at all. Horsepower, 650, not to be sniffed at all. We've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein. Back to Trelleborg. Trelleborg's the only one with a tyre choice option. We've got a standard or a wide on that. Then there's a license plate option on there too. Those are your options. Fairly straightforward. Let's jump in, start it up. So, pipe out. Now, under... let's get this right. So L1 and right stick side to side. We can move our left mirror. And we can tip it forwards and backwards, like so. Under R1 and right stick side to side, we can move our right mirror and tip it forwards and backwards. It's very cool. Interior detail, very nice too. Then we can open our doors. Under L1, R1, right stick side to side. Does that door. We'll get there in a minute. And then up and down. Does that door. This doesn't come with a head or anything with it. This will only actually hook up to pin hitch trailers. I tried it with the ball hitch and it wouldn't work. So pin hitch trailer, and then you have to use a forage harvester head. I've gone for the Rostselmash head because that will fit with it nicely. They only go up to, I think, a 6 metre. I don't think they do the 9s, maybe not in the 7.5s. Start it up, and away we go. It's a forage harvester. Depending on what forage harvester head you put on it. 650 horsepower for 305 grand. I think it's brilliant. Really nicely detailed. Looks good. Sounds good. Beacons. Lighting is good too. Horn. What's not to like? Very cool indeed. And that's it for the mods for Monday the 5th of December. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.